Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another video. This time we're looking at childhood memes by right here, Vazgul. Vazgul? Vazgul? Is that how you pronounce it? Somehow you pronounce it like that. If you want to check out more of his stuff, the link to his channel is in the description. And yeah, it's his childhood memes, but let's see if this is really childhood for me or just my later teens. Oh god, it could be even worse and be my early 20s. Holy shit. Look at she. It looks like what is that, Bakugan? Never played with these.
Your childhood wasn't lit if you didn't play with these. This carpet
Well, apparently
brings
it wasn't
back
lit.
so many
I don't remember if my movie theater had carpets like that. Maybe.
memories. We all used to beg our parents for change for this. 10-year-olds doing
Sometimes.
TikToks, and me at 10 years old. What
Never
is this,
played that.
and why do I remember it?
I
remember
The fuck was that? Wait, go back to that. What the hell is that? Am I crazy? What the fuck is this? I've never seen this in my life. What in the fuck is this?
remember it. Y'all remember
Strange.
these stencils? When
Nope.
having one of these was more important than life itself.
Bro, I did not have a cell phone until I had an actual job that I could pay for one on my own. And now now I'm at work and I see like 5-year-olds with a fucking iPhone for whatever reason. And it's not like the parents' iPhone either. It is because the parents are scrolling on their fucking phones too. No, that's the kid's iPhone. What the fuck? Spending what? Probably upwards of $700 on a fucking phone for a kid? You kidding me? Dumb motherfuckers.
I swear we all thought you were the coolest kid at school if you owned one of these flexi rulers or zip-up pencil cases. It doesn't matter how smart
Oh,
you
the
think
fucking
you are.
Slinky.
No one can fully fix a Slinky.
And then there's those people that are doing all this fucking weird ass tricks with the freaking Slinky, and I want to try it, but I know I'm just gonna waste like $5 on the Slinky and destroy it in 30 minutes if I even tried it. Can taste. Is this the rubber bouncy balls?
I can taste this picture. This
Maybe it's
is
just
why
me, I never
toys are
bit one of
important.
those.
Forgetting childhood trauma. Forgetting entire childhood. We still talk about you. I miss
Oh,
you,
the Toys R Us,
Real
yeah.
ones remember VHS tapes.
Yep. Now, isn't it just a myth that if you break off the tab, hold up. Maybe it was just a myth, but it said if you break off the tab here, you can't accidentally erase anything that was recorded on a VHS. I have no idea if that was true or not. That could have just been a myth. Maybe. I don't know. I never even tried it. I was too young.
6-year-old me. Oh my god. Where did his finger go? Impossible. I'm going to tell my kids this is where I spent most of my childhood. I miss the feeling when
I
you
mean,
would
probably
walk
not
into the
wrong.
store as a kid. Boys in
Never.
2007 be like, gel, gel, and more gel. This kid is
Never.
going places. The casino. What is your favorite place on earth? My house. If you had $100,000, what would you do with it?
Blow it on
Put all
gacha.
red. Kids today aren't built for this like us back then. A lot of you
I
had
don't know
this
what
shit
that
in
was.
elementary school. These things
No.
were a whole lie. Thumb-breaking
Mhm.
monsters. Life is so tough.
I remember
As an
those.
adult, I could really use a good soccer bopper fight right
Soccer
now. Has
bopper.
any child in the history of ever actually won one of these things
Nope.
outside the realm of fiction?
No, I think these were just made purely for movies. Is that a frog on top? It's a little frog on top. I mean, I remember seeing it and wanting it, but
Back
Never
then,
had
we
it.
needed a utensil to open this container.
fucking
Scars
Nesquiks.
remind us that the past
Oh,
is real. The
Blockbusters.
feels. Just checking in. You and I used to have some wild Friday nights back in the day. The Uber
Yeah.
of my generation. I don't care how many
And then you get
splinters I
hurt.
got. This was a blast. The drugs of our childhood. Y'all old enough
Mhm.
to remember the infamous rumor that came with silly bands? Back when we read the
Nope.
cereal box, not our smartphones in the morning. The 90s versions of emojis. Teachers in the
Yeah,
90s
those
saw
stamp
this fit and
pencils.
said, "This is it." Sneaking a piece of candy. This was the loudest lid. It's a Saturday in 2010. You wake up and get a bowl of cereal. Turn on your TV and Wii and hit
I was 20 in 2010, so no, I did not get to do this on Saturday mornings. I got to go to work.
this theme song. Honestly, Dala used to genuinely terrify me. My biggest
Still
childhood
does.
dream, the dream.
Oh yeah,
You
everybody's
think
got
the
that
itsy bitsy
dream.
spider gave a damn about the rain? No, it climbed the spout again. Lock in. Do you have experience
That's because spiders are
working as a
stupid.
cashier? Me. Remember when everyone used to wear these? Be honest.
Nope.
You learned what this is from Phineas and Ferb. Remember
Fucking
stopping
Aglet
the
song,
ice cream
yes.
truck to get one of these? Kids today will never know the struggle
Rarely.
of having to hit a button 3 times just to get one letter. Kids want their toys to come alive because all they knew is Toy Story, but if they only knew.
And fucking
The virus
Chucky.
in Animal Crossing is like that one summer with Pokemon Go, but like the opposite. Moral of the story is
inside.
Nintendo decides our fate.
Apparently.
Challenges in 2014. Bottle flip, mannequin challenge, the floor is lava. In 2024, buy a house, afford groceries, find a good job, getting cool band-aids as a kid. Batman.
Ooh,
Whenever you
yeah.
had new shoes or clothes, you had to go sharpen your pencil to show off. The
Not
best
really,
part about
no.
getting a new book to read from school. Do you remember these balloon thingies on
Never did that, honestly. Never did that. Balloon thingies on our birthday cakes? No. No. God, I think I only had like a handful of birthday parties that I can remember. Maybe like 6. From like ages 4 to like 10, maybe 11. I don't remember. I don't remember
my
anymore.
birthday
Jesus
cakes
Christ.
growing up? Every 90s and early thousands kid can hear these pictures. Top left, just Velcro.
I always had a Nintendo. I never had a PlayStation until I could buy my own. It was always Nintendo. Super Nintendo was the first one. Mario Paint, if you know what that game is. God bless you.
Here's what YouTube looked like in 2009, exactly 11 years ago. Arthur really had a glow up. No, he actually had more definition back in the day.
Yeah, you can actually tell he was a fucking anteater in the beginning, apparently. Like, if you showed anybody a picture of Arthur here and told him, guess what animal he is? Ain't nobody fucking guessing anteater. I didn't even know that till somebody told me, and I didn't think they were telling the truth. I thought for sure they were lying to my face. Because what part of him screams anteater to anybody? None. Nothing.
Now he has no jaw. I remember when HD TV stood for Heavy Damn Television. They always asked,
Never had that
"Where's
cabinetry."
Perry?" But never, "How, Perry?" Remember skates that attached
I'm
to
sure
your shoes?
Doofenshmirtz
Not
did.
arguing with anybody. These were the best gummies. Remember
Never
these
had those.
erasers? Ever wondered
I remember
how
taking
Phineas
bite
puts
out of
his
them.
shirt on?
Or somebody
No?
taking bite
Well,
out of
now
them.
you know. When life was simple. Simple, I couldn't even crack an egg without her shouting at me.
Never
if
played
you had
that.
these at your parties as a kid, it automatically made you
Never
cool.
had these.
You're 10 years old. It's the 50th time you do this slide. Your knees and elbows are on fire, but the boys are waiting for you at the top. When having giant TVs like this was a flex. The
Yeah.
fancy tech that impresses
That's the
kids
rich
today,
people
and the
shit.
fancy tech that impressed me as a kid. Who
Was that
remembers
the
spending
bank thing?
hours on Paint when someone was using the phone so that you couldn't connect to the internet? I'm
Mm-mm.
that
I was playing solitaire in that pinball game.
old. I ain't forget people used to wear power balance
the
bands talking
fuck
about
is
try to
that?
push me over. Getting whacked by this was lethal. Our first
Yeah, I
form of
stayed away from it.
responsibilities as kids.
And
These
I
were
always
worse
killed
to
it.
step on than Legos. Before smartphones, we read the back of shampoo bottles when we went to the bathroom. The struggle was
I raw dogged it before raw dogging it was cool. Yeah, I took a shit and just stared at the wall. You could say TMI all you want, but nah, I'm gonna tell you, yes, that's what I did. I stared at the wall while taking a shit.
real. Multiplayer in the 90s. In 6 years, the 80s will have been 50 years ago. The amount of cookies I've watched the Cookie Monster waste with his BS chewing makes me sick. Throwback to the times where you could happily
these are so
spend
much fun.
hours just moving piles of sand from one place to another.
If you could get on it, there was always a line at these shits. There was, yeah. No, it was impossible to get on it on time. You'd probably get on it for like a second as the bell rang just to have the feel of it, and then you immediately went to class.
My parents, my nose, 3-year-old me running after them when you realize they actually remade the shot. A gun and a slightly inclined piece of wood. Corporate needs you to find the difference
It's the same
between this
picture.
picture and this picture. 8-year-old me, 6-year-old me, giving Dora the wrong information. Today's kids will never know how official you were if you had a Sony Ericsson. This was probably your setup at some point. People are going to be offering you free
fuck
drugs
is
and
this?
alcohol all the time. Lying teachers.
Yeah,
Me when someone
lying-ass
asks,
motherfuckers.
what was the funniest time of your life? And I remember that one one 8th grade friend group. McDonald's really dropped the
Nope.
hardest cap
What
of
the
all time back in 1982. I made so
Okay,
many
82,
bracelets,
no.
and I don't know what
I wasn't
happened
alive
to
for that.
any of
I'm not
them.
that old.
Loom bands. This hits a little too hard. Sorry, son. You're gonna need an adult with you. Cash or card, sir. 11 years since GTA 5 is crazy to think about. I've always
Really?
wanted
Is
to
oh
try
my
a Pretty
god, is it
Patty,
really that old?
8-year-old me after trying my mum's coffee. Wow, this is garbage. You actually like this?
With a lot of
5-year-old
sugar
me.
and cream.
Ew, beer. Me now? No, I'm still like, but I don't like beer.
Yeah,
My
me neither,
childhood is
man.
ruined.
I'm right there with
Mario's
you.
age 39. Princess Peach age 15. When I was in high school.
Really? How old is Bowser? How old is Bowser?
This calculator used to cost like 1.9 million. $20 for a calculator still seems crazy. Is
It
this
is.
really how Pearl looks like from the
fuck.
front?
It's-
Screw the
it-
zodiac signs. What piece are you picking?
Oh, I was always the ironing. The iron. It was always the iron. Yeah. Yeah, no, everything else. Nah, the iron. I always go with the iron.
What piece are you picking? 5-year-old me after finding a cane. So glad I grew
True.
up with this, not this. Season
Oh, they
1 and
butchered
Season
him.
5. Here's a side-by-side of the updated Jake model. Jake got a booty. Y'all seem to forget that
True.
Sam Puckett was one hell of an artist. Am I the only person that remembers these, or... The original
I
Voldemort
don't
design
know.
was scrapped for being too
Oh.
terrifying and potentially traumatizing
They should've
to
went- no,
kids.
they should've
When
went
you're
with
in a
it.
happiness competition, but your opponent is your childhood self on a gloomy day before social media. No one. Me, walking around the house when I was little. No matter how big your house is, how recent
do
your car is, how big your bank account is, our graves will be the same size. Stay humble. Speak for yourself, peasant. If you recognize more than 3 things here, it's probably time for some
Oh god. Yeah. I think I still have one of those lights. Never had a jacket that's a CD player. Fucking AOL Instant Messenger over there, Blockbuster. Are payphones really all gone? Yeah, below $1 for a tank of gas. Or a gallon of gas, yep.
blood work.
Yeah,
Jack
just
Black in 1992
shoot me right
versus
in the chest, why don't
2024.
you?
Does anyone else remember this show? Looking at the fish tanks at Walmart. My
Oh, yeah.
generation was expected to
I
climb
love
a
going to Walmart
30-foot
for that.
rope with a life-saving 2-inch thick mat below. When your Aunt
Nope.
Susan asks why you borrowed her dish for 2 weeks. Oh, Yellow Wendy's, how I miss you. Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds in a 1994 Push Pop commercial. When
Push Pops
everyone
are
on
great.
the bus had a DS and we communicated
Except your
by
fingers would get
picture chat.
sticky.
Ash actually caught a Dragonite. That's so cool.
Did you really?
Nick.com in the early 2000s. Chartisserie boards are just Lunchables for grown-ups.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I want to hear him say that again.
Basically.com in the early 2000s. Chartisserie boards are just Lunchables.
Chartisserie boards. Well, he completely skipped the CU and added an S somewhere in there. Charcuterie boards are just Lunchables for grown-ups. True. Far more expensive, though. Way more
for
expensive.
grown-ups. Basically, every girl who grew up in the 90s owned at least one of these. After 25 years, Microsoft finally decided to kill Internet Explorer. Rest in peace to the browser everyone used to download another browser.
Did they-
Cereal
what did
just
they
hit
replace it
differently
with?
in these bowls. I'm
Never
this
had a
old.
bowl.
Remade my
Oh, yeah,
room from the
those.
90s in a 3D software as I remembered it. I used to love playing with this. 90s.
That's not
3D
even the original
bathrooms were
Bop It
such a
either.
vibe. Do kids nowadays even know the struggle of cleaning mouse balls?
I never washed the ball thing. I remember peeling the dust off because I thought that was fun as hell. Never washed the thing, though.
Everybody and their grandma had one of these on their fridge. 6-year-old me telling my dog that if he speaks to me, I will keep the secret. My dog. If you drank out of one of these in your teens, chances are you're immune to everything. Elementary kids at
Hawaiian
lunch.
Punch
I
is
bet
so
no
good.
one will stick this up their nose for $1. Nurses offers 5 minutes later. Macho Man was so cool. He'd even line up the pattern on his bandana to line up with his shades. Rate my setup. Who else
The
tried
fuck
to
was
figure
that?
out where the juice went as a kid? Somebody's
Oh,
mom always
yeah.
had these fruit candy powder things. Remember these
Nope.
Walmart bags? And when they
Yep.
used to hand out smiley stickers to customers. How kids today entertain themselves versus how we used to entertain ourselves in the 80s and 90s.
Like I said, Super Nintendo. Video games were still a thing, my man. I don't know anybody that used to play with fucking marbles. I mean, I used to collect them because they were shiny and cool, but never really played with them.
If you didn't make soup out of mud and leaves as a child, did you really even know? I didn't
No,
know this. Did
no.
you know this? It always looked better than it tasted.
Some people ate 'em.
You had a good childhood if you know what this is from.
Oh.
Teen Titans. How did they find us? Also Teen Titans.
The good Teen
greatest
Titans.
artist of our generation. Freddy really had zero drip. The original group chat. Chat
Blame
room
his
A,
mom.
B, C, D. Here's a few things iOS users haven't seen in a long time. The kids that kept the boxes and manuals to their Nintendo games. Signature look of superiority.
Nope.
Not gonna stop
Always
grinding
threw
till
all
my
those
driveway
out.
has one of these
What
in
the
it.
f-
This kid
It's in
sleeps
a
in the bed of
topless
his
van.
grandpa's old truck every night. There will just never be another time like this.
What
She's
was?
straight-
Wait, what was that? What was all that? Oh, songs. Okay. Yeah, these are definitely not my childhood. Holy shit, these are really new to me. What does that say about me?
She straight up
What does that
told
say
this man
about
he
me?
was ugly. You're like this, a rock, unassuming on the outside, but a treasure within. Throw up a hand if you remember how satisfying it was to put a 5 into one of these sweet bars. Growing up is realizing that talking doesn't scare the fish, and that grandpa just wanted you to shut the hell up. Grandma, you need
Pretty
to
much.
eat 4 more bites since you're 4 years old. But I'm 5. Oh, well I don't think you can eat that much. Me eats 5 bites to prove her wrong. Grandma, in case you haven't noticed,
Nope.
you've fallen right into my trap. Money can't buy happiness. Okay then, what the hell
Never
is this?
played Club
Real ones
Penguin
remember
either.
Spot. Where's Spot? The original Lift the Flap book. Today's kids will never know why the desert was so lit in the 90s. These movies were slept on. Over the Hedge, Flushed Away, Shark Tale, and Coraline. First graders, Rain, Rain, Go
Never
Away,
watched
Come
any of
Again
them.
Another Day. Another day. First graders, Rain, Rain, Go Away, Rain. Hold on, this whole operation was your idea. 5-year-old me. Wow, the game's graphics look so realistic.
What the
the game's
game is
graphics,
that?
screeching as loud as you can before hitting one of your siblings with one of these. It's the simple things.
I was
that
hitting
matter.
myself 'cause I
If
didn't
you
have a
know,
sibling.
You know. Y'all remember
Oh, the
these?
little paper
No, I
football
don't.
thing.
Who else loved these pooping animal keychains? Anybody else play Roller Coaster Tycoon? You
Nope.
come home from middle school and turn on your gaming console. What's the first game you're playing? POV. It's the
Super
2000s
Mario.
and you're playing Kid Pix on the school computer. For those who grew up before the internet age, remember when YouTube was just getting started and we used to watch the chipmunk versions of our favorite songs?
No. No, I don't remember anything like that. Chipmunk versions of your favorite songs. Really?
What's some of the dumb stuff you believed as a kid? I'll start. I thought every time you heard a song on the radio, the artist was singing it right then live at a radio station somewhere. Atlantis,
Never
The
thought
Lost
that.
Empire live action rumored, underway with Tom Holland at the rudder. Boom, childhood made. M&M's tasted so much better in the tubes. Don't question me on this, I'm right and we all know it. POV. You're 8 years old and you're showing your friends where your house is. Who else rocked these
Nope.
bad boys in the 90s? You may be old, but are you this old? This
I
was
don't
how
even know what the
learned
hell that is.
puppy eyes technique at such a young age.
What
These
is
Jolly
that
Rancher
even?
sticks hit different, especially Blue Raspberry. I
They have
miss
sticks?
these. Me wanting to relive my childhood. Pokemon Heart Gold, $245. Only the
I still have that game somewhere. I know it's somewhere. I have no idea where it is, but I know I have it. I guarantee it. I do still have it.
real can relate. Who else owned at least one of these growing up? These were
Yeah.
my Stanley Cups. One has to go. Lion King, Goofy's Toy Story, or Aladdin. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell my grandma
Toy Story.
pulled this off. You can only bring one back. Blockbuster, Radio Shack, Toys R Us, or Vine. Blockbuster. 7-year-old me, after picking
that's
up a cool
toughy.
stick. Two characters who claim to be enemies, but don't even think twice when it comes to saving each
frenemies.
other's lives in a dangerous situation. Remember when
They
Blackberries
love each
were the
other.
heat? Back then, Blackberry
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
these were
bigger flex
great.
than iPhone. The 4 horsemen of supportive fathers. We all partied in a hotel like this. Now
Nope.
this is anxiety. No
Yep.
phones, no stress, just good times. Nothing is more adorable than Patrick trying to put bunny ears on SpongeBob, even though he has no fingers.
Just looks like a
SpongeBob
penis.
is the author of the journals. Running out of the car to drop your rental off. Netflix before Netflix. Tell me you had an awesome childhood without telling me you had
I
an
still
awesome
got all of
childhood.
them.
This girl must think I'm rich or something. She was just a little confused, so I had to fix it for her.
What?
Put a verse. iPhone 2. Slime. That's not even an iPhone 2. Oh, iPhone 11.
Jesus.
Am I in the Roman times? Today's kids will never know the struggle
iPhone
of writing
11.
down cheat
How old
codes
is
for
a child?
GTA. Interviewer. Any sales experience? Me. My daughter came downstairs and gave me the last bite of her favorite candy. She learned to share and I was proud. Then her brother came downstairs asking who ate all of his candy. We did, my daughter declared. She'd learned to share blame and I was even prouder. The kids who were eating Tide
Okay.
Pods are now old enough to drive. Begging your parents
fuck?
to buy you just one more
Oh,
booster
God,
pack.
yes.
The original smartboard. Y'all remember Smensors? Happy Meal
No.
containers from the 80s. Wish they still made them like this. I
What?
would like to speak on behalf of the entire planet that we still haven't forgot about this.
The fuck? The fuck is that Uncle Iroh? That is the worst casting yet. Yeah, but I remember this movie. Is this the movie? The terrible fucking movie? Because I remember that.
The first thing teenagers are gonna think of when TikTok is mentioned in the upcoming years is the app instead of Keisha's song, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. I finally
Shame.
remember what Zoom meetings remind me of.
And
Who else
fucking
had
Muppets.
these? Stampy has been on YouTube
I
for
wish
10
I had
years
that.
and said he never expected to reach 10 million subscribers. I think as a tribute for giving a lot of us a great childhood filled with Minecraft videos, we should
no
all
idea who
subscribe and get
Stampy
him
is.
to 10 million. Me thinks about childhood. Suddenly remembers I watched a dinosaur video when I was a kid. Opens PC and searches for it. Can't find the video. Where is that? Nothing but good vibes here. My friend,
Discovery
don't make a
Zone,
scene.
yes.
Me in 2007. They closed the Rainforest Cafe in Chicago. Don't text me. Another rainforest being destroyed to make room for corporations.
heard of it.
When will it end? 10-year-old me was
Rainforest
so
Cafe.
impressed by this scene. Can they bring these back? Who remembers this game? Oddworld. How
Oh,
I
yeah,
used
I
to check
remember
out
that.
books in the 90s. These kids today got it easy. They found out schools cancelled through a text. We had to wake up at 6 a.m. and watch the bottom of the TV screen like an NBA draft. Who remembers playing video games while your parents shop? One of your
Yep.
childhood cartoons
Another
gets
reason why I love
remastered.
going to
They
Walmart.
changed the characters and the plot in order to be politically correct.
Oh.
The show that made everybody want to be
Rocket
a skater.
Power? Yeah.
This was the early teens combo right here for a lot of us. We were living in the future when this first came out. Anyone make this
no
game
idea
and
what
put
that
your
was.
classmates in them? Which cartoon
No.
death was the saddest? 117 that you never thought you'd.
Is that fucking real? Now that's what I really have to look that one up. Now that's what I call music 117? What the shit? Now that's what I call music. What is it at? What is it at? Literally, does it say? I don't think it says. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is long. No, it's wait, no, it's did it end at 2024? Because that's all as far as it's got. It's only got up to 90. Is it actually still going? I hope I hope not. Is it actually still going? They still have a website out. No, that's what I call music volume 89. That's the oldest one they got. Oh, the newest one they got. Thank God. Holy shit. Okay, no, it's up to 80. Ooh, 100. No,
See, me
I
again.
didn't
Me.
think so.
I wonder why my skin is so dry. Me in the 90s. Is this skincare? These cups were the hottest thing on the market growing up.
Oh God, that just triggered something. I think I had that Wile E. Coyote cup, but I'm not sure. I feel like I did, but I don't. Oh God.
It's the 90s and your hairdresser asks how you part your hair. Okay, after seeing this, I'm seriously considering getting a similar tattoo. I went to high school during the Breath Mint Rush Gold era. Worried about privacy these days? When I was a kid, almost every house had a magic book that contained your name, address, and phone number
Oh, the
for
phone
every
book.
psycho to see. I am this old. This is what kids in the 90s used before Google, when you finally pay all the debts and start enjoying your life. We all know someone who had this. PG in the 80s and PG today. Me at church when I was a kid. 1 hour here is 7 years on Earth, when music wasn't in the cloud. How it
Oh,
looks
right,
and how
yeah,
it
that's-
feels. Growing up in the 70s and 80s, we thought the year 2025 would look like this.
If
There's
only.
no Mandela
If only the
effect,
Jetsons
it's
were
just
true.
a new logo. I miss these so much. Disney Channel will stop airing for good January 2025 after 27 years of history. We can't be friends
Will
if
it?
you
Did
haven't
it?
seen at least one of these movies. Somewhere on Google Earth, it's 2012. My grandpa is still alive and he's teaching me how to play softball. Pimp My Ride,
Shame.
90s edition.
Sad.
My brain. 1970 was 30 years ago. 1990 was 10. 1995 was 10, 2010, 2010, 10, 2016 was a couple of years ago, 2017 didn't happen, 2018 was 2 years ago, 2019 was last year, 2020 was last year, 2021, it's only January. Everybody's saying that they started gaming on the PlayStation 1 and 2, but the real one started on the V-Smile.
What
So
the
today
fuck
I
is
learned that
that?
Trixie's voice actor, Diona Kwon, is legally blind and all of her scripts were written in Braille.
Really?
Which number did you start with? 1, 2,
Today I
all the way to
learned too.
12.
Wait. 5. I didn't have the original Game Boy. Man. Oh, the Dreamcast. I wish I had the fucking Dreamcast. Oh, God.
I started with a DS. I think that was my first ever console, or a PS Vita. A spectacular view of an
Damn, this guy's
iridescent
young.
cloud. Dude, that's where the Care Bears live. My mom, when I opened up a bag of candy in the backseat of the car, it has 4 colors. It's the world's best pen. Fidgety click click. There is also red
Yeah.
and black. Yeah, this is the best pen. People think this chef is good, but he's got nothing on this man. I don't give
What
a
was his
damn how
name?
old I am. Hold my shoes.
fuck
I need
yeah.
to make this but for adults. You're 7 years
Fuck
old
yeah,
and you
dude.
just woke up during the late night road trip. So instead of getting out of your bed like a normal person, you're going to stretch over to grab the thing you really want.
Yeah, it doesn't make
humans in
sense,
Tom
but it
and
doesn't
Jerry,
have to.
you'll never see their face. Switching from a pencil to a pen was a big deal. Yeah, at my primary school, we had a pen license. I was the first person to get my pen,
Pen license?
We used to
What the
slap
fuck?
this poor cat for no reason. Nah, him and Talking Angela were weird. We had the best scale in our childhood. Other people after using a pen all day. Me, after holding a pen for 10 seconds. You're
Think
too
that might be a
young
medical
if you
issue.
don't know this video. Other people's
Yeah.
dustbin versus my
Yeah.
dustbin. When I had a backpack, I never really used this area. Nice, my marble is in first place. I will win for sure. Kids today
Oh,
can
you're
never.
about to learn.
I remember they banned these in school because it was that serious.
I don't even know what
Worst
the hell
memory
those
of
is.
my school life. Best childhood memory.
Yeah.
The amount of slime guys would give you when you asked to play with some of theirs in elementary. I got flung off at Mach 3 years old. I was
Nope.
always too scared to go on these when people would push it really fast. Childhood trauma. You're so wise for your age. You have such good reflexes. 7-year-old me watching this show and thinking I could do all the obstacles
7
easily.
years old,
Ever
I
did this
still
in your
think that.
childhood? Yep. It always hurt, but like a good type of hurt. Hair holds memories. No wonder I'm so forgetful. You should just eat your memories so you gain them back. How about this for a cross-generational collab? TV at 3 a.m. in the 90s be like, sold over 20 million records. This is just 9-inch nails. How it felt watching my mum cry about how I ruined her life at the ripe age of 8. This palette is called
Thankfully never had
Overcooked
that.
Vegetables. The colors of the 1970s. This floor meant you were somewhere fun, my friend. The hardest puzzle to solve is the Rubik's Cube. Me, an intellectual. How others write. Temp with a line richer. How I write. Temperature going down the paper. We ain't the same, bro. Who else remembers these
No.
Tupper Toys stencils? How I thought my Play-Doh would look like after mixing all those colors together. Does
Yeah,
everyone
no, that's
understand? One kid says yes, so we're moving on now. Great. Believe me, all of these are in this small house. This is so true. Ghost grabbing zone, safe zone. Then versus now. How I imagine my father
got
when he
wireless.
was a child. I wonder if we would have been friends. Who else did this in childhood? Turning your pen into a plane. But I
Nope.
never added the pen lids at the end of the ruler. We played
Never
with
did
these
that.
to train for this. Same feeling, different
Oh,
age.
what the fuck?
Stickers at the doctor's/dentist's office. You got too big to fit in this chair.
Yeah, I still had those chairs until like 2 years ago. God, those chairs held up. I didn't have the table, but those chairs are good for like just putting in random places to sit. They held up real well. Eventually the legs broke, but they still it was like, God, 20 years maybe. Can't find a plastic chair that can stand up to you now. Not for 20 years anyway.
Zoned out in 7th grade, and Loki never really zoned back in. I always thought it was a silly toy. Little did I know it would come so in handy. Me forcing people to make pinky promises because I still take it seriously. It's like when people swear on their mother's life. If you don't actually swear on that, you don't mean it, you're a horrible person. Or you hate your mum. Why are there straps on his legs? I'm laughing so hard.
Oh,
Power
yeah,
to
this
the main
picture.
thrusters. All systems are go. Turbo
Who-
poop. But he's still wearing his pants.
Who actually
Pants aren't
bought
an issue
this?
when
Did
you're
anybody
quantum
actually
pooping
buy
through
this?
the 9th dimension. There's a special place in hell for people who did this in school. Mice don't make
Guess I'm going to hell then, because I used to do that to my friends. Actually, we just used to do it to each other. We'd do all kinds of shit to annoy each other. I think that's what makes you friends, right?
Holes like these anymore. I know, they've went away. Finally, a piggy bank the size of my savings.
Oh,
Fidget
that's
spinners are
kinda
out.
sad.
These are in. My fingers got pinched
that a
just
snake?
looking at this picture. Do you guys remember these dinosaurs which would inflate in water? They were cool.
Nope.
Don't complain about your research project. This was my Google. Texting in the 80s style. 5-year-old me. After trying my parents' toothpaste instead of my Strawberry Lightning McQueen toothpaste. Are we the only ones that make
Why do they not? Do they make flavored toothpaste for adults, or is it all just the fucking fluoride and mint? Because they should.
these out of popped balloons and squeak it against our teeth, hiding in these as a kid?
Oh, yeah,
My
that
parents
was
would never find you. This
so
generation
fun.
has a nice looking plain movie, while our generation found entertainment through this manufactured horror. If you
Yeah,
did this,
that's
your
no, that was
childhood
creepy as fuck.
awesome. Your childhood was awesome, and you're also a monkey. You were a
I
monkey
did do
as
that.
a kid. I had
That
a
was
friend
fun.
like this actually. Whenever I would go around his house, he was climbing up his door frames, climbing his fridge. And you know what he did when he was doing this? He was always naked. He was always naked. The world we grew up in no longer exists.
Sears.
Real ones know the fur. No more tears. Johnson's baby shampoo. Why are you drinking out of that? It doesn't mean literally.
So he doesn't
no more
cry
tears.
anymore?
In the 80s, a hamburger would ring and we would just answer it without even knowing who it was. My neighbors were throwing this
Never
out
saw
yesterday
that.
on their curb. They were throwing this out. See, I'm not old. I
mean,
don't
it's
get
kinda
this. I
creepy.
would have thrown this out too. What the hell is this? When I was a kid,
What was that
we didn't have
character's
fun
name?
play
I don't remember.
places. We had McJail, and they'd only feed you McDonald's. How guys you genuinely never knew existed be posted up in 7 in the morning. The picosecond you open a bag of chips in the middle of class. Before Crocs, we had these. I would not fit into these.
The
Growing
fuck are
up in the
those?
wood grain era. Yeah, I don't really like the wood grain
Nope.
era. Okay, this
Nope.
may sound crazy, but hear me out.
That's kinda
As long
cool.
as this is not directly
That is-
above my
that
head.
is kinda
'cause
cool,
I'm not trying to get burnt this way. Kids today will never know the struggle of having 2 VHS tapes to watch Titanic. A single frame of animation
never even
cannot
watched
make
that
an
movie.
entire generation sing an entire song no one knew they all had memorized. Challenge accepted. When I'm at Bro's house and I find an absolute diabolical childhood photo of him, I don't have 2 wolves inside me. I
Got
have
Ren
these
and
guys
Stimpy.
honestly thinking
Damn.
about buying a toy. Not sure though. Nothing is set in stone. Buy whatever toy you want. Only OGs
Yeah, those are
remember
like
what
99
these
cents.
were. To everyone who compares stepping on a Lego to death, they've never stepped on a Barbie brush. Mum, Mark got
Nope.
into med school. Jim went to Mars, and Gary made an app for dogs. What did you ever accomplish? Me? I did this game and I played it well. That deserves something, right? Before Wikipedia, we had these bad boys. I have a vivid memory of me reading the space exploration one.
Only in
What
the school library.
nurse be doing? Oh, you've broken your arm? Let's see if an ice pack or a plaster will help it. These used to hit so hard back in
Okay,
the day.
I-
don't
no,
wanna
no
party
banana.
like it's 1999. I want to go grocery shopping like it's 1999.
Damn, look at those prices. Sausage meat, crunchy by 3. It's all in cents. Like, what? This is the only thing that's like dollars up here. I don't even know what the hell those are. Irish sausage is $1.05. Damn, look at all that shit and it came down to less than $30. You can probably maybe just the 4 down here will be $30 nowadays.
99. She loves me. They love me. I love me. Buster is a true advocate for confidence and self-love. Thank you for making our childhood
Oh, Tom and
awesome.
Jerry.
Who had Polly Pockets?
Didn't they kill themselves
I would
at the
really
end?
like to chew that purple jacket right about
I'm
now.
pretty sure.
50-year-old Optimus Prime messes up his back transforming. There is a whole generation of kids right now that have no
Snaggers.
idea what these are. Remember those days when we had to sit on this plank of wood to get a haircut? Wait, I never had to
Nope.
do this. I'd have to sit on
No.
a booster seat.
Never.
on a plank of wood? You think kids today are stressed? We played with stress.
That perfection game. Yeah, no, that game was that game had me stressed real bad. Oh my god, more than any of these other ones. This one was just plain fun. I don't know what he's talking about with the Hungry Hippos. That was just fun. Simon was okay. This one was probably the second most stressful, but this one, I think it's because you can hear the little timer here rotating, like. It's like a zzz kind of sound, but you could hear it, and you would panic. Like at some point, you would stop putting in pieces just to stare at the timer for a second, and if it was way too close to 0, like 15 or less, yeah, panic. Full
Why were
onset
these
panic.
9 years ago? All I wanted was decent skin colors. Do you know how many orange people I had Crayola do? Teachers in the 5th to 8th grade. That's not gonna slide in high school. That's stuff in high school. It actually slides more in high school because
Pretty
the teachers
much,
aren't
yeah.
paying as much attention to you. When I'm arguing with people on Roblox, like they aren't 5 years old, me,
Why are you
nervously
playing
clicking my
Roblox?
pen during the test. That one guy in the class who knows Morse code, trying to understand why I want to invade Cuba. Tarot reading since age
Why
6.
not?
This is what started tarot reading. This is probably
This
what
is 8
started
though.
prophecies. I think the most
My
popular
man.
drawing as a kid is either that stupid sun at the top right or a stick man. It's back when Apple used to care about us. Now they give us our phone and basically tell us to sod off.
Yeah.
We may be cut from the same cloth, but I was cut with these. I remember these scissors.
I do
They were
too.
cool. I hated using them though. Please
Nice
do
patterns.
this with my remains. And then pour it out. Okay. Stack of shuffled post-it notes.
Ooh,
They're
that's-
perfectly merged together.
is
6-year-old
pretty,
me
though.
showing my mum the useless toy I want her to buy me. Knowing I'll forget about its existence after 3 hours. Yeah, but mum would buy it because
Pretty
she
much.
knows it would make you happy. That's what it's about. Most things become useless after a certain amount of time. 4-year-old
All
me
things do,
testing
actually.
my parents' toothpaste instead of my princess one. Why did they make older people's toothpaste taste worse than children's toothpaste? Why is that a thing? Do they just do it
Seriously.
because every adult should need to suffer? Like what? 6-year-old me
Suffer
after
enough just
sucking
through
the
life.
bathwater out of a washcloth. Just
I'm
you
sorry,
know,
what?
I never actually did this. If you did this, your childhood was awesome. Yeah, and it
Yeah,
would hurt.
with
It would hurt
every
like
cup
crazy.
I had
Go
in my
back
hands.
to when I was a doctor. I haven't been a doctor in many, many years.
Never had
Looks
any
like
of
my
these.
neighbors put their Christmas display up early this year.
Okay.
They should make Flintstones-shaped Tums for all of us now. I thought this was soap. Being a guy is not easy. You turn 12 years old, and now you're competing with CEOs, bankers, and politicians for girls your age. Kids don't play with fireworks. Let the adults who have been drinking all day set them off. How the teacher looks at me.
I mean, it's
after
about the
asking,
same at that
How's
point."
your work going? And I say, good. As we both stare at a blank page. Them. Don't be scared, it's just a kid's movie. The kid's movie. When your mum, who had no business cutting your hair, decided to cut your hair when you were a kid. 8-year-old me outside my
she
parents'
did
room at
pretty
7
well.
a.m. on Christmas morning. I must unwrap my presents this instant. Did parents in the 70s, 80s, 90s really allow their kids to roam freely? Or is that just a portrayal?
No,
seen in
yeah,
movies?
yeah. Yes. The answer to that is 1000% yes. Like we would literally get on the bikes and leave. Like we would not even be in this. There was not a restricted area that we would be in. We would go wherever, as long as it's close enough to where we can remember how to get home without getting lost. Maybe. But yeah, no, you just jump on your bikes and go. Where? Wherever.
An underreported reason people are having fewer and fewer kids. Now we're expecting to watch them 24/7. Or at least in the summer, my mum got 10 plus hours a day free from me while I crawled around in ditches. I
Exactly.
can feel it ripping my arm hairs. I'm this old.
Nope.
Do you remember when we couldn't wait to get our books and see who all used to have it? The good old days. And you wouldn't recognize any of the names?
Not a single
Everybody
one.
became a DJ when it came to scratching these planners. Since we're starting to become more environmentally savvy and ditching plastic straws, may I recommend bringing
Fruit
these
Loops
bad
cereal
boys back?
straws.
Clear and translucent products from the 90s
Oh,
slash
yeah.
early 2000s. One time, Matt Damon guest starred on
Oh,
Arthur, and he
no.
looked horrifying. So
Yeah.
should we draw Matt as a human or as an aardvark? Yes. How
Oh,
friends
yeah.
explain.
He was an art. Wait, was Arthur an aardvark? I thought it was an anteater. Either way, you can't tell what the fuck he is.
In math versus how teachers explain math, older siblings, creating trust issues since forever. I felt so cool after getting a top like this. Chemistry ain't
Nope.
nothing like Royal High Chemistry.
I had the push button t-shirts where you had a button right here and you push it. I had the Jurassic Park one where I make a dinosaur dinosaur scream or roar, dinosaur roar.
In my day, we had to stand to play video games. Seeing your
Mm.
childhood photos be like childhood
Aw,
memories.
that's cute.
How I used to draw fish and birds. But who remembers
Still do
this
that.
toy? This was so fun. How could I forget?
Let's skip
In the
it.
day, your clothes are on your bed. You've taken them off your chair. In the nighttime, you do the exact opposite. I will never
No,
be
they're
too
on the
old
floor.
for this. I
They're on
know.
the floor.
Predicting the comeback of these shorts from 2007.
I'm sorry,
Did
what?
you have this
No.
exact food coloring? These
No.
guys never survive one whole drink. I'm this old.
I know what a light bright
sold,
is.
I guess. When these little things came out, I thought I was living in the year 3000.
Oh, yeah.
One day you rode in this cart for the last time. I'm gonna
I
make
never
sure to
rode
find
in
one of
that
these
cart, actually.
soon in primary school. Can I play? Me. I don't know. It's not my game. Sorry. Do people do this in America? Definitely did this in the UK. Remember doing this? No, I don't remember putting my hand on uncooked rice.
Yes.
Nobody. 10-year-old me looking at things. So if I close my left eye, shouting,
I still do that
"Good morning,
sometimes."
Miss," two-syllable teacher's name in primary. My name was really good for teachers to shout at. Jonathan. That's like 3 syllables. Jonathan. Jonathan. 6-year-old me and my homemade rocket ship. The person I like versus my flirting skills. What? This was the hardest.
Those are childhood memes. That's like literal adult memes.
Thing to draw in maths. It still is the hardest
Kind
thing
of.
to draw. If
Not
you ever
really.
made these in your childhood, then your childhood
Nope.
was awesome.
Never once.
This is like origami. I
Who,
sucked
when,
at this.
how?
I could not make these. I would just make
Who taught
trash
you
paper
this?
airplanes and throw them at people. Telling my one-night stand to pick up a special prize before leaving. I'm taking that basketball. Thank you,
the
POV.
fuck?
This was your childhood. I loved
Fruit Ninja?
Do people still play it?
Not
The
really my
original
childhood.
smart board. What is she signing? A, B? Is she
I think-
publicly mocked?
I think we already went through this one. N-A.
People's grades?
I don't think so.
Well, usually you hide that. 9-year-old me seeing a letter in maths. 16-year-old me seeing a number in maths. So that's why I turned out like this. It all makes sense now. We all fell for this. Anybody else fascinated by this as a kid? Define as a kid. The OG Glover. How old are you? Me. The default wallpaper. And those speakers. I didn't actually play solitaire or any of
Yeah,
those,
turning
like,
on the
games
PC
on
with
the
my
PC.
foot,
Which
yeah.
play design
Yeah.
did your Midwest home have? Nanny.
2. Actually, 2 and 4, I think. I think we still got those plates too. I think. Maybe.
My nanny had, I think she had, I think the closest would be number 5. Who can it be now? This is a reference I don't get. All the baddies had one of these growing up.
The fuck is
Detangler?
that?
Yes, sir. If you remember, I will personally hand you a certificate of good childhood.
I mean, this really wasn't my childhood. This was like my mid-teens, I think. Yeah, this thing is just so creepy to me. I remember my mom recording some of these episodes to send to like friends and family in Japan that have kids. I don't know why. I guess to teach them English or something. I don't know, help them learn English, but no. Yeah. I remember specifically it was this cartoon she was recording.
Toast. How many of you ate slate pencils in your childhood? I've never
No.
ever seen a slate pencil before.
What the fuck
Or
is a
thought about
slate
eating
pencil?
Because I've never seen them. This was one of the best joys in childhood. Finish
I
this
never could do
drawing.
it.
So they drew. What did they even drew? Jackie Chan was a childhood hero. Did he perform all of his own stunts? I don't
Yes.
think so. Star in many movies?
Yes.
Disown his daughter for being gay. Ski with a
I
broken
don't think
foot.
so.
These things we were
I think wasn't it framed like that, but he had disowned her before she came out too. I mean, either way, he still disowned his daughter, but I don't think it was because she was gay, was it?
never allowed to use. Oh, we were allowed to use these, just not when teachers were looking. We always used these. In my primary school, we actually had a specific
Never
day
seen
on
these before in my
Thursday
life.
where they would have these, but they were 2 times the size, maybe even 3 times. The gym was huge, and there'd be mats on the floor, and we'd be allowed to climb up them. We were obviously supervised, but that was such a fun time. I don't know why they allowed us to do that. That's insane. I guess it's just to like get off the energy. And no one actually got hurt. We would play games like tag or it, and the last person to be it would be out, like bomb, I guess, and then yeah. Oh, I didn't really watch slime video. Oh no, I did. I have a memory of me trying this. No, you're right.
Nope.
And there was one core ingredient I was missing. There was always one ingredient.
Never
I
even-
also remember trying
never
to make
even
oobleck.
thought about
That never
making
worked.
slime.
And I remember watching videos calling like the boss babe. I was such a kid. I mean, I was a kid. I was such a kid. That's why I can't get annoyed at kids for watching that type of stuff. I don't blame them.
I
Back in
can.
the day, those videos used to hit. They were so entertaining. This was
Not in
how
my
your
day.
destiny was decided, and it's been decided since that day. It's been a long time since I've had one of these phone calls. Slip and slide. The most fun you'll ever have getting hurt.
Yep.
Raise your hand if you used to draw like this in childhood. I still do. How old were you when you found out the cop in the beginning of Home Alone is the robber? You're late. late as hell, bro. If you know
Yeah,
what this
seriously.
is, your childhood was awesome.
I think I
This
know
was
what
like
that
one of
is.
those guns, right?
Yeah.
My daughter is back home from college and
Oh.
discarded several childhood toys to the shed. I got up early this morning to do some fathering, and now we wait. We used to
That's
be
gotta
a
be
proper
fun.
country. I haven't won anything
Yeah.
from Monopoly.
Now that's done through an app, isn't it? I'm pretty sure the McDonald's app or some shit. It's so stupid.
Have you guys won anything?
No.
At some point in your childhood, you and your friends went outside to play together for the last time, and nobody knew it. The
Yeah.
90s Cool Uncle 4th of July starter pack. Kids today will never know the pain of copying notes from this. When mum brushed your hair with this, she also brushed your ears, forehead, neck, and brain. Yeah, I remember in first grade when we were just chilling in class, then somebody threw up out of nowhere.
No,
The perfect
what kind of
90s
class
clock
did
doesn't
you- oh.
exist. Hey, 2000s too. Society.
Damn,
If
okay.
MTV
I
would've just
kinda want
kept
that.
playing music. 6-year-old me trying to change the traffic light with my mind. When it turns green after the third try, it's my power. 7-year-old me and my cousin arguing. My cousin, we're not cousins anymore. Me. My dream workplace is the Unsolved Mysteries call center. Juice tasted 10 times better out of these carbs. If
I don't
you're
think
a
I ever
90s
used one of
kid,
those
you have
cups.
the same freckle on one of your arm in the same spot. If
No.
this is the
No,
future,
guess I'm
I
not a
would
90s
rather
kid.
live in the past. I'd rather just live. If you used one of these back in the day, chances are you're immune to everything.
The
We
fuck
all know
is
that
that?
one friend who still has one of these. Well, of course I know him. He's me. How I
Nope.
used to scroll through pictures.
I never
before
had one of those,
Instagram. I know with
unfortunately.
3 flavored popcorn
Oh.
Tim hates to see me coming. How 90s kids learned about science. Magic School Bus. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Actual school. The ending
Pretty
of
much,
every
yeah.
80s music. It's just a fade of the volume. Nobody. 9-year-old me. Wait, are you putting sugar in your cereal?
Who does
I've never
that?
seen this before.
Yeah,
I
no,
never did this.
I never did
It's
that
only
either.
a short trip. Enjoy it, but it's the longest thing we'll ever experience. Streetlights on. Better get my butt home. I'm
Yeah.
about to buy this. I haven't slept good in a while. Who remembers doing this on the last day of school? If you went through these stages in your childhood, then you deserve a veteran's discount.
What do you mean went through? I still collect Pokemon cards. At least I try to. Fucking $200 for fucking ETV? You kidding me?
Count. If you owned these shoes, it's time for night serum. You know you failed if your teacher handed your paper back like this. Hey, I've definitely experienced this a lot. Had no cough, ate the entire box. Proof of how
Nope.
easily entertained we were as kids.
This
Give
would
me an
still
iPad,
entertain me.
Give me
This would-
Minecraft, and
Oh.
I'm entertained.
This would
Elementary
still
school in
entertain.
the early 2000s. This was one of my favorite things to
Yeah.
do as a kid. Who
I wanted to
remembers
sit under it
Tabletop
and stay under
Pac-Man
there.
and Pizza Hut. The strain
No,
that
I
every
don't.
family owned back in the day. Candy corn
Nope.
gets all the slander every year. Meanwhile,
Fuck is
Trash
this?
Circus peanuts go by every year with no smoke. Biggest disappointment of my childhood. Expectation, reality. I'm walking up to the teacher's desk acting like I need help so I can see mine and the other students' grades years old. I'm still annoyed that Doritos took the window off the bag because I always like to assess the seasoning level.
Okay,
prior
this is
to
super
purchase.
odd. I never
Parents
saw
were like,
those.
Here's 4 boxes of your old elementary schoolwork you left at the house. Parents, I found your 4th grade report card. I'm 39 years old. I'll put it in the mail, and I'm so happy to see it. Adults having breakfast at a friend's apartment before heading off to work is the biggest lie television ever told me.
Yeah, no,
Edward
that would never
Norton
happen.
Still talks to himself after all these years, sneaking a piece of candy. This was the loudest lid. You're
This
old
is
as
already in
dirt
there.
if you remember doing this thing. Me, rolling into your feed with nostalgia. memes.
Yeah, I remember
My daughter
that.
was wearing a flannel hoodie, so I said, hey, the 90s are calling. And she replied, yeah, because they couldn't text. And damn, I'm getting really tired of my kids owning me. POV, you're sick in the 2000s. Picks up 5 times more women than a Lamborghini. Technically true, yeah. Lamborghini can only pick
I
up
mean,
one. This has to be one of the saddest
wrong.
deaths in cinematic history. And it's an ant. This
Is that
generation
Honey, I
will never
Shrunk
know
the
the
Kids?
struggle. Me having a nostalgic flashback in 2070 when my grandkids asks, what was your childhood like? A lot of games and a lot of fun. Not gonna lie, getting sucked into Jumanji for 30 years doesn't sound too bad right now. Judy Garland's famous ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz have reportedly sold for 28 million.
Damn.
I feel like these should be in a museum, not a random person's house. Before Crocs, we had these. Who remembers the old TV trays? We didn't
Never
know
had
it back
that.
then, but your teacher was definitely hungover when this thing rolled into class. Or they were just feeling very
Probably.
lazy. We're so old. We
But
remember
we were all
when
happy
Sugar
about
Daddy
it.
was just a candy. If you remember this guy, you were probably the younger sibling, or you had a great childhood playing Mario. How your childhood game actually looks and how you remember it. Before iTunes
I don't
and
know what game
Spotify,
that
there
was.
this. The grapes that were sitting on just about every grandma's coffee table back in the day. No sleep will ever compare to the nights I spent wrapped up in this blanket for all of the 90s. How I used to check out books. For more than 30
That's the
years,
second time we saw
plastic
that one.
Garfield phones have been washing up on French beaches. The mystery
Huh.
has finally been solved. A shipping container from a ship that sank in the 1980s was found in a hidden cave.
Oh,
No one
really?
knows why,
It was
but
carrying
at
those
some
Garfield
point in the
phones?
90s, every kid owned this jacket. I'm jumping over the heater furnace in the floor, old. Only the real can relate. People in 1997, when a robotic voice on the radio said, "Around the world." These were the NFTs of my childhood. If you know why the corner is taped, you're officially old. Apparently you're supposed to add water to the markers. They're dry on purpose. This whole time I always thought I had a dry
Really?
set. Kool-Aid always tasted better when it was poured out of this pitcher.
What
the
the fuck
original
is
Chuck
that?
E. Cheese
Oh, you
definitely
creepy
looks like he would
motherfucker.
tell a child to get lost while ashing his cigar on their pizza, doing
Or to get in
homework
the
at
van.
3 a.m. It's like you're studying, but you're not really studying because you're just so tired. And then when you wake up, you've forgotten everything you were studying.
Yep.
My body functions at its highest level when I am eating fresh and seasoned produce.
No,
You just had
no.
to be there. We knew how to class up paper plates in the 80s. You smell so good. What are you wearing? And now it's that
Super
sad
Mario
time of
Bros.
the year
shampoo.
when Mariah Carey must return to the ocean, only to re-emerge next Christmas. Corn
Oh my
pops
God.
out of that foil bag just hit different. I've discovered a new
I never
game
liked
called
Corn Pops,
Dance
though.
Attack, where I blast 80s music and dance in the general direction of my kids, and they scream at me to stop as if they're being Parenting is easy when you want to know, but don't want to be obvious. The Federal Reserve says the McAllisters were 1%ers in Home Alone. After working on it every day, converting it to turbo and painting it yellow, my childhood Gran Turismo dreams have come true. The PSP. Me crashed
Damn,
in front of the
okay.
used video games section for 2 hours. Would you rather get hunted
still do
down by
that.
the Terminator or the Predator? Terminator. He'll make my death quick, I
no.
think. Or
Predator.
quicker. Teacher, name a book.
I mean, normal people have taken out the Predator before. Normal people have not taken out the fucking Terminator before. I mean, shit, yeah, they had to lure him into a vat of molten metal and kill him like that. Fucking Predators have been killed with like a fucking stick. I'd rather get the Predator.
That made you cry. Me, algebra. Today in 1987, your school served you this for lunch, and you were excited about it.
Damn right.
School pizza
Those are
was
great.
actually good though. I enjoyed it. Can you please stop making new flavors?
Is that
Either put
orange?
the drop back in or leave it the hell alone. Eating alone in school. Wow, I feel so self-conscious. I'm miserable. Eating alone now at work. This is the most relaxing part of my day.
Pretty
Always
much, yeah.
looked forward to seeing these set out for gym class.
And
Races
running over my own
obstacle
fingers.
courses. Timeless. The age I consider
Somehow.
old. My age. The setup would heal me. This is the Frutiger era setup. If you guys don't know, that is my favorite aesthetic. I love it. In the future, when I'm a billionaire,
I think that was my school,
I'm nearly a trillionaire.
computer
I'm gonna get a
room.
house and I'm gonna make it like this. I feel like it's not an exaggeration to say this is one of the most shocking product changes in
the
the
heck?
history of food and beverage.
When did Capri Sun come in a fucking bottle? Excuse me? Did that ever happen? Is that happening? Did that happen? What? Is that going to happen? That's fucking ridiculous.
Why? It didn't need to be changed. Home security reminder. A lot of people are going away for Christmas, which makes their homes easy pickings for burglars. For security reasons, I strongly recommend leaving one of your children behind to construct a series of elaborate booby traps and defend your interests.
And he has to be named Kevin or else it's not gonna work.
When the motion sensor sink in the bathroom doesn't work, any 90s kid will know this is the greatest bobsled team of all time. Who remembers ankle zipper jeans? I do not remember these.
No.
I feel bad for people who never got to taste chicken that came out of this.
What
I
the
swear
fuck
this
is
thing
that?
added its own spices. Why, does it just make it taste a lot better? Excuse me while I
Probably,
process
but
that
what is that?
Macaulay Culkin is now older than Catherine O'Hara was when she played his mum in Home Alone. I legitimately
dang.
have no idea what anybody under 30 is saying anymore. What generation generation does Forrest Gump belong to? What? Gen A. I don't get it. When you see me at work and I say I'm living the
Gen
dream,
A.
this is the dream I'm referring to. As a kid, this toy led me to believe that parking garages would be way more fun than they actually are. There's a small bookshop,
they're not fun at all.
Scholastic book fair at a local brewery. They vastly misunderstood the demand. Doctor, you're in your 20s. You shouldn't have stomach problems this bad. My childhood everyday snack. This generation won't ever
is
understand
Twangers?
how good it felt to be in the horror section at Blockbuster on a Friday night. Since we
No.
will never forget. I could never forget crayons. And also
the Fruit
smelly
Stripe gum.
pencils. And
God, the Fruit Stripe gum. It only had flavor for like 30 seconds at max, if that. Probably less, maybe like 15 to 20 seconds, but goddamn, you loved it.
smelly stickers. Ah, that is nostalgic. This was a snack when I was growing up. Wait,
Tomatoes and
salt.
salt.
And tomato.
Yeah.
Ew. Something that I miss about childhood? Well, people don't ask me what my favorite shape is anymore. Adults just don't do this. It's a triangle in case you were wondering. You don't care. I do care. What is your
never asked my favorite
Let me know in
shape.
the comment. Two truths about the 80s.
So is this
More
my favorite
awesome.
color,
The
though?
record store was their heartbeat. You won't have a calculator everywhere you go, said your 8th grade math teacher.
And they're
Yeah,
lying.
about that. Lord, somebody done faded up the Michael Myers mask. Was
Yeah.
there anything better than
fuck?
going out to eat at Pizza Hut back in the day? I can hear and smell this picture.
Taking it home?
Today's kids will never know the struggle of making your own ankle socks. I couldn't do this. I'm very particular with my socks. I wear
I
a lot
kinda
of my socks inside
rolled
out
it
because I
down.
don't like the lining touching my feet. My wife wanted to have a conversation about me being too childish, but she didn't know the password to get in. Tapes had side A and side B, so it's only logical that their successor would be the CD. Who remembers these orange Nickelodeon VHS
Oh,
tapes? Growing
I
up,
think I
never-
still got one. I think it was the. It's the Rugrats movie, the first Rugrats. I think that's what I got. Oh god, now I want to go check.
Never knew if I was opening the butter or leftovers. It was rarely butter. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Babe, I just got my new swimsuit. What do you think? My brain.
Like
Don't say
Andre
Andre
the
the Giant. Don't say. Don't be so hard on
so
yourself.
true, it
The
looks
mum
the
in
same.
E.T. had an alien living in her house for days and didn't notice. Who
Yeah.
remembers these chairs? I remember something similar. Not
Never
quite
had
like
one of
these,
these.
but yeah, something very similar. We still talk about you. If you never made a mixtape without one of these, don't argue music with me. My kids will never know that awful feeling of realizing that there is no VHS tape behind the box at the video store. I wonder what the part of my brain that used to store people's phone numbers is doing now. Being empty. Spielberg was only
Probably.
26 when he made Jaws. Michael Jackson was only 24 when he recorded Thriller. Essie Hinton was only 19 when The Outsiders was published. It's too late. You need to give up. This is
God.
what a Big Mac looked like when I was growing up. I have
Really?
more in common with Freddie Mercury than I previously realized. Only true music
Cats.
fans will get this. I don't think this is very hard to understand.
Yeah, it's not.
We will rock out. Who remembers playing computer games at school?
Oh, the Oregon
I remember
Trail,
playing a
yes.
Batman game all the time after school. Same with the Hulk
And the-
game.
one of
where you
those
have to
block
smash on the
breaking
cars.
games,
This is
too.
how houses are supposed to look. How did we go so wrong as a society? Oh yeah, I actually live in a tree right now. It's a concrete tree.
If
When you
only.
were a kid trading candy, how it looked versus how we felt. Mentally, I'm here. You don't know pain until you ran around your grandma's house barefoot and ran on this. Here's a rare photo of how my parents supposedly got to and from school. Pinky and the
That's
Brain
cool.
were based on two
Uphill both
producers at Warner
ways.
Bros. Animation, and I can't get over how they really just drew these guys as mice without changing anything else. Kids today want $1,000
It's not
cell
that big,
phones.
come
We
on.
just wanted this tacky mess. All I wanted was a moon ball. 7 months ago I bought one, and it smacked me in the eye. And I got a migraine from it. It was awful. Kids today will never know the real back to school shoes. I remember the old days when snap, crackle, and pop were sounds that came from my cereal and not my body. Image of childhood obesity in
Could be both.
1971 versus 2005. I'm at the age where I won't make eye contact with someone because they look like a talker. Really? I
Yes.
sometimes struggle making
Yes.
eye contact with people because I'm too busy trying to keep eye contact than listening to what they're saying. Therapist. So when do you think your
Yep,
anxiety
this fucking
started?
game.
Me. Breaking. Nickelodeon's iconic game show, Legends of the Hidden Temple, is getting a reboot, but this time it's strictly for adult players. I don't even know what this game is. If the
Sounds stupid.
1990s had a smell, this this would be it. Today's 7-year-olds have seen iPhones and Xbox. Me at 7, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Who else made one of these hand
I still
turkeys
do
back
that.
in the day? Kids these days will
Definitely.
never know how serious field day was. Dear old people, waking up at 6 a.m., tending to a garden, eating dinner at 5 p.m., reading books, and going to bed at 6:30 feels amazing.
That says
I was
9:30.
wrong. You were right. A Toys R Us
goes to bed at
employee found a
6:30?
boxed copy of Mario Kart
Oh my
64
God.
under their shelves. Aren't these like really expensive? Obviously they're in really good condition. Gen Z will never understand the absolute grip this baby had on our culture. Mosquitoes.
Actually, I don't even know.
Mums in the 90s. Have you ever
fuck is
thought to
that?
yourself, what's the most 90s thing that could ever feasibly exist? Well, wonder no more.
Is
Who
that a
should be the
video
last
guide?
horror icon to be added to the horror icon Mount Rushmore? Me. What being sick looked like as a kid in the 80s. How do I know you would be a good father? I've kept this thing alive for weeks, babe. I've got this. Suppressing every childhood video game urge in me right now. Due to the increase in gas
always.
prices, a man hanging from the passenger side of his best friend's ride is no longer a scrub. He is a man making smart financial decisions, and I'm intrigued. Not a cell phone in sight, just people living in the moment. So many beats were made. Your mama jokes told, sports arguments, table football jokes, arm wrestling, and notes being passed at this table. Ruined my childhood. Ralph isn't Chief Wiggum's son. What? If I talk to you while I'm driving, I genuinely like you, because that's supposed to be my music time. Well, this restaurant wins forever. I want to go
Oh,
back to the
Jesus,
days
okay.
when my biggest anxiety was stopping the cassette tape before the DJ started speaking when recording the top 10. Used to be a fun adventure. Now you can't stand
Oh,
being
God.
there. If you have a favorite pattern,
They got
your
rid of all
back
the good
hurts when
stuff
you
from
wake
there,
up
though.
now. McDonald's called out order 867 and I yelled 5309 and nobody laughed, and then I felt old and ate my burger in the playground. I wouldn't have laughed. I don't know. Interviewer.
I
Do you
don't
have
know
any
either.
sales experience? Me. If this image doesn't immediately start a long forgotten
I'm-
song in your head, can you even call yourself Gen X? Like when you
That's
see
the second
it.
time.
Kid, I'm so
Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa,
bored
whoa,
in your
whoa,
head. Can you even call yourself
See
Gen
what?
X? Like
Oh, it's Mario. Oh, okay.
when you see it. Kid, I'm so bored. Parents, here, sit down on the floor and spin around on this toy until you have to vomit. It's never explicitly
fucking
explained
Brady
how
Bunch.
The Brady Bunch had access to Zoom in the 1970s. No, you live in a society. I live in my meticulously crafted daydream universe that I've been using as a coping mechanism since childhood. I love nature this time of year. Only real ones know this.
What are the
but
Power Rangers?
The Power Rangers. Aren't you thankful that your childhood happened to be before technology took over? I mean, technology's kind of always, but you mean like
Kinda
technology
so-so.
consuming most people's day? Yeah, maybe. You don't actually want to play GoldenEye 007. You want to return to a time in your life where you didn't understand how bills work. Mortality was just a game mechanic, and making new friends was as simple as playing GoldenEye in a friend's basement. The consoles I owned growing up,
Yeah.
according to my mum, Nintendo, 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 Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was always a
That's-
great
they always
day
say
when these two
Nintendo.
showed up in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I'm this old. Meanwhile, back in the 1990s.
Oh.
And in 2025, people
Nasty.
love baggy jeans. There are two types of people in the morning. Being an adult is terrible, but I thank God every day that I didn't have to randomly run a mile at noon against my will, and then go on about my day like we did in school. Whose school had a field day during the last week of school back in the day? This is the only version of this sign that's acceptable. Look, I'm not saying kids today don't have it tough at school, but we had to chew these and everyone knew who didn't brush their teeth. Hey guys, wanna feel old? I'm 40. You're welcome. Middle school really had us eating pizza.
Wait,
at
what?
tea.
Who was
Hey
that?
guys, wanna feel old?
Oh, Macaulay
I'm 40.
Culkin.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Middle school really had us eating pizza at 10:30 a.m. in a room with a stage in it. Yak back.
True.
We just recorded
Oh,
your
I had
voice
one
and
of
played
these.
it back. That's it. That's the toy.
Yeah.
And it was so entertaining.
It was.
Doesn't use
It really
but
was.
used something similar. Opens email
I had that.
inbox. Brand I bought one gift from months ago. 1989. I bet there will be flying cars in the future. An opened copy
Yeah,
of
cops
Super Mario
protecting
Bros.
toilet
sells
paper.
for a record 2 million. What?
Damn.
Like, did you really live your full school experience if you didn't get kicked out of science class? 9-year-olds want the latest iPhone. When I was 9, I just wanted this. Kids today are missing out
Nah.
on the pre-streaming era, where your childhood was at least partially defined by some semi-obscure movie your family just happened to own on tape, and you watched several dozen times. I remember watching Stuart Little a lot. Why are Christmas movies
Stuart
always
Little's
about
not that
dads who
obscure.
don't spend time with their kids? A lot of you didn't spend your Friday nights in the horror section of your local video rental store, and it shows.
Yep,
Yeah,
no,
I
never.
was scared of horror films. They would give me nightmares. Even now they give me nightmares. Paranormal
Those are always the
ones,
comedy
not like
films
just
for
serial
me.
killer one. I'm not scared of
Love
that.
those.
I'm scared of ghosts. I think that's more likely to happen than me getting like I don't know. My stepmom told me I'd be a janitor. Nothing wrong with that. And live in the basement of a school and play guitar for rats. I wrote a song about her. It's called Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. It's been played on the radio 3 million times. People
Damn.
born between 2000 to 2003 had the exact same childhood as you late 90s babies. So don't act entitled. You don't even remember the 90s. Some of you will
kinda
never have
do.
to read 100 books to get a personal pan pizza, and it really shows. R2-D2 ain't a snitch. He knew Anakin was Vader, pretended to not know who Yoda and Obi-Wan were, and shut himself down when Luke didn't want to be found. No wonder he was trusted with the Death Star plans. R2 is the ultimate ride or die droid. I'm sorry ladies,
Apparently,
but if
holy
your
shit.
dude recognizes this car, then he ain't loyal because he's been cheating since his childhood. When
I
your
have
kid
no idea
says,
what that
"You
is."
never buy me anything." 1990s teachers really used to see this outfit and lose
Alright,
their
this-
mind.
we already
Advice
saw
for
that
young
one.
people. You gotta be bold, bad, wiser, hard, tough, stronger, calm, cool, together. All I know, love will save the day. Before Kmart
Is that a
goes
song?
away, I want to say thank you. 45 years ago, your store hired my single mum and let her 5-year-old son sit in the cafe when she worked. I played in shoes and clothes for hours. That job kept us going for 20 years. Thank you for your personal. This is greatly appreciated. Welcome to your 40s. The first song you ever made out to is now on a commercial showing how you can live an active life with Crohn's disease.
Oh,
The mask in
jeez.
Halloween
That's
is
gonna
actually
suck.
William Shatner's face. The production crew bought the cheapest mask they could find at a Halloween store, which happened to be William Shatner. They spray painted it
Okay.
white. My 11-year-old son just
Gave it a bit of a
discovered
wig.
Tetris. Came home to him boasting about scoring 15,000 points. Cracked my knuckles and played for the first time in 25 years. Dropped 73,000 points in a set.
Damn.
Now he's angrily muttering to himself, and I'm doing karate kicks on the front porch. Kids today are soft.
They gotta
I died
learn
once when I
sometime.
was 5, and my mum made me walk it off. I'll never forget the first time I went backstage in a wrestling video game. It made me feel like anything was possible. I remember my
What the
friend
fuck?
putting me on wrestling. He was Liam. He was American and he joined the school. And he put me on wrestling. We used to wrestle all the time. Oh man, wonder what he's doing now. There are just so many people that you used to speak to or were really friendly with, like best friends. And now it's just like dead silent because you both have kind of grown up. I mean, we could make the effort and try and reach out to each other, but nah, I don't know. I care, but I don't care. I think some things are better left in the past, you know? Remember the days of taking a whole camera with you on a night out? I'm going to Kuroshisin with some of my friends and I have a GoPro and I'm thinking about bringing it. I think that can make some funny videos. Do you guys want me to do that? Like a little vlog?
He just cut himself off. Oh, what the fuck is going on? Well, it just shifted to something else. Oh right, it was in a playlist. But yeah, apparently that was childhood memes. Some of them did activate my childhood, especially that one Wile E. Coyote cup. God, I feel like I had one, but I don't remember. God, that's just gonna kill me now. I don't even know. I think I had one, and I think I think it was pretty big, and I ate cereal out of it as a kid. Yeah. But anyway, if any of those reignited some childhood memories in you, go ahead and reminisce, I guess. Talk about it in the comments or something. Because goddamn, it reignited some things in me. It did. It really did. So yeah. Anyway, if you want to see more videos like that, go ahead and head over to Vascal's channel. It's just, again, linked in the description. And with that, until next time, y'all, thank you for watching and goodbye.